everyone. It's great to see you all. My name is Brandon. I'm with the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights based here in Chicago. And welcome to Firm's Census Chat this afternoon. Really excited to be on with everyone. Now, more than ever, participation in the 2020 census is so critical. Getting counted means more funds and resources for our communities that enable the growth, well-being, and prosperity of our families for the next decade and beyond. And, in addition to the news this week that the response period for the census is actually being shortened until September 30th, we still continue to see how our communities, Black, Latinx, Asian, immigrant communities are being disproportionately affected by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And we also see how the Trump administration continuously tries to eliminate immigrant communities from the census count and from the representation that we deserve. So it's important for us to take care of one another during the pandemic and to keep working to ensure that our voices are heard and our communities are seen in the 2020 census. Today and tomorrow, across the country, firm organizations and partners are getting on the phones and getting out into the field in a concerted effort to make sure that immigrant communities are counted. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about how you can respond to census if you have not yet. We'll also hear about what different groups are doing to make sure that immigrants across the country are being counted. So first off today, I'm joined by one of my friends, Anel Sansen from Mujeres Latinas en Acción, located here in Chicago. Mujeres Latinas en Acción is a census partner with ICER and an ICER member. So Anel, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Anel Sansen. I am a census coordinator with Mujeres Latinas en Acción. We are a community-based organization that exists to empower Latinas through service and advocacy. And we've been engaging community members since January through canvassing and community education sessions. Back in March, when the pandemic hit, we started engaging community members through phone banking and text messaging. And of course, we had to get creative to also use social media platforms to make sure we reach community members.
Yeah, that's awesome. So today and tomorrow, where did I go? Oh, okay, there I am. So today and tomorrow, firm organizations across the country are participating in phone banks to get out the count. How has your phone bank been going? And tell us about some of the conversations you've been having.
So it's been going well. We've obviously made hundreds and hundreds of calls, reminder calls over the past weeks. But of course, we are seeing that people still have a lot of doubts about sharing their information because, well, obviously all the negative things that, we keep hearing on the news, they just really trying to make it out for us not to get counted. And we are just out here assuring that their information is safe. And also, reminding them that there is no citizenship questions because, we do get asked a lot about that. People still don't know that it's not on the questionnaire. So we're just reassuring them of that and, just encouraging them that now more than ever, we must get counted. I mean, with all the roadblocks and through a pandemic that fell on us, it's just literally just the time to just make ourselves visible when they don't want to make us visible,
Yeah, definitely. 100%, absolutely all of that. What is one of the talking points that you've used with folks, for other folks out there doing census outreach? What is something that has particularly worked right now with folks to convince them to participate?
Well, one of my biggest thing, right, because I think we, as a mother, education is a big thing, right? We want to make sure that we get those funds for education. We have our kids, we have our children in school. And right now we are seeing that people, obviously because of the pandemic, we're not thinking about schools. We're just, we're not going to send them to school. We don't care about school right now. So people are discouraged for that. They don't want to hear about it. But we also, like, we have to remember people, right? That yes, we're going through a pandemic. Yes, we're not thinking about education right now at school. Why not? Because we're not thinking about sending them back. But we have to remind people that this is not something that's going to affect us for 1 year, 2 years. This is something that's going to affect us for 10 years, an entire decade. So we have to think ahead. We might not think about things right now because, we're worried about other issues and other situations, but we have to think long term. This is literally something that it's going to affect us for the next 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. So, you have that one thing that has worked really well, but what are some of the challenges that you've been facing?
Well, some of the challenges that we see, especially right here in our immigrant communities in Chicago, is just, assessing public basic services, like healthcare. Obviously, right now it's when we mostly need it. Daycares, we rely on the free school lunches families do. So obviously this has worsened with the COVID situation because our communities have been the ones that have been hit the hardest. Families have lost their jobs, are afraid of where their next meal might come from. So that is why it is very extremely important for us to just continue to encourage people to, to fill out their forms online or by phone.
And that's actually a really great segue because you mentioned participating online or over the phone. So, how if by chance you're out there and you're watching and you haven't participated, how can you participate in the census today?
Well, it's very easy. Like, you literally could just by going to my2020census.gov or calling the 844-330-2020 number. You can not only fill out your form, but also get access to language assistance if you or anyone else needs help filling out their forms in any other languages. By filling online or by phone, you can also avoid having someone come knocking at your door. We know the enumerators already have started visiting homes of people that have not filled out their forms. So, and not only that, this is a moment to think about our safety because our safety and health is critical. And that is why we encourage you just to go ahead and self-respond while you can. We have a short time and let's not wait till last minute and just make sure that we do it because we have to remember, right, that we all must be counted. Citizen, DACA holder, TPS, DD recipient, or undocumented, like, we all count. I want to repeat, documented or undocumented, it doesn't matter. We all count in the Census 2020. So I encourage you guys to just go ahead, fill it up online, on the phone, have this conversation also with your vecinos or your families and friends, and make sure that you encourage those around you to fill out their census.
Awesome. Thank you, Adele. Thank you for hopping on and for joining us and for all of the work that you and the team at Mujeres Latinas en Acción are doing to make sure that everybody here in Chicago is counted. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Okay, so now I would like to welcome Jossie from one of Firm's other partners. Oh, not yet. Sorry, Jossie is not with us yet, but she will be joining us in a minute. First, I will welcome Rabia from the Firm team to talk a little bit about what the Firm Network is doing today and tomorrow. Rabia, are you on with us?
Hey, am I on?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I see you.
Great.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Good. Tell us.
I'm here.
Yeah, same. See, I have a shirt that says "Ask Me."
Oh, nice. I didn't wear mine.
So, but nobody has stopped me on the street yet. But we do wear this to our events. So, Rabia, tell us a little bit about what Firm partners across the country are doing today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll tell you. for what Firm's role is, just in case nobody knows. So Firm has over 44 partners in 35 states, and that includes partners like ICER. They're doing all the work of fighting for justice for immigrants in their states. And Firm represents them at a national level and we're organizing the organizers. And we got involved in the census because, as a lot of us know, the census is literally an integral part, like a foundational part of being of our democracy. So for the next 10 years, we know that if we as immigrants aren't counted, that means we are basically invisible. We don't get the services that we pay taxes for, that we deserve. And that's exactly what this administration wants. And so to be more powerful, we are advocating at a national level and working with partners like ICER to make sure that they have what they need to get all of our folks counted. So that's really just Firm's background. Thank you so much, ICER, and all of our state partners. You're amazing. You're doing the work. I think we have Jassy from CASA, so let's go.
Thank you, Rabia. Thanks for hopping on. Hi, Jassy. Hello. This is Jassy from CASA in Maryland. I can't. Are you unmuted now? I can't hear you.
Yes.
You're unmuted.
Hello.
Hi, Jassy. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Josie. I am leading.
No, Josie, I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. I tell you, my parents had a fun time naming me that they made up my name. That's why there's two S's, there's an I, there's an E. In Spanish, it's Josie. So people always have a good time trying to pronounce what it's like. I'm at CASA. I'm leading the communications work around the census, specifically making sure that people can sign up, can fill in their census, helping family members fill in their census. I'll tell you that I helped my mom, who is 65 and doesn't know her way around Facebook. She tries to get to Google through Facebook. Imagine that. So I helped her fill in her census with my dad, who doesn't know how to text yet. So we'll get there. But it's important for us at CASA to empower our members and everyone to fill in their census to be counted. If I can share a few words about our recent lawsuit.
Yes, please.
So we know how powerful it is to fill in the census. And so when CASA heard that the Trump administration was going to add a citizenship question, we sued. That cannot be something that we ask on our census. It is a scare tactic that the Trump administration implemented. We have to continue to empower our families to ensure a fair and accurate count. And through the lawsuit that we won, that happened. Now, with the Trump administration talking about how, same scare tactic, talking about not counting undocumented families, that is not something that's legal. And it's very transparent that the census is something that's important to him, that he feels threatened enough by the fact that we are filling in our census, we are showing up, we are being counted, that he has to lash out. This is a response, and we have him scared. Imagine how powerful the census is, that this man is trying to scare us into not filling it in. We have to be counted. We have to be there. That's why CASA has been reaching out to members through texting, SMS, through email, through phone. We have been knocking on doors before Corona. And when Corona hit, that didn't stop us. We kept going because we have to be counted. And so we went digital. We did more phone calls. We did more texting. We mobilized millions of people. And that is fabulous. So when we look to everything that's being discussed around the census, that's the bottom line. We have to understand it's a tool of power. It shows our political power. It shows the resources that we have and that power. And that's why it's important for us to fill in that census.
Absolutely. Thank you, Josie. That was incredible. And you just laid it all out there. You laid it all out there from start to finish. I really, really appreciate that. Is there anything you want to share about, in particular, state, how is the count going for you all statewide? Are people responding to your message? And what are some of the tactics that you're going to use to maximize the time period between now and September 30th?
Let me tell you that we just wrapped up a powerful campaign where we reached millions of people. We already know. I can think of one place in particular, Fairfax County, where we exceeded the count from the previous census. So more people reported this round than did last time. And that's a big win, because we know that not everyone fills it in, which is a mistake. Fill in your census. And so people showed up in Fairfax County. And that is something important. Why? Because of all of the political wins on behalf of the Latino immigrant communities of color, all of those communities that are often undermined, that are often silenced, have some major political wins in Virginia. Let me give you an example. We ended 287G in Prince William County. What does that mean? That the collaboration with ICE that the county has is gone. We helped secure in Virginia licenses for undocumented families. We helped secure in-state tuition for undocumented students, so that folks are paying the same tuition rate that citizen children pay when they live in state. And so things like that are motivating factors to show our power. And if we're going to talk about building power, we have to include the census.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Josie. Thank you for sharing all of the work that CASA is doing in Maryland and in the Mid-Atlantic. Thank you so much. And you know what? That's right. Imagine how much power our communities hold, because imagine how much power we already have, right? Knowing that the administration is trying to silence us and to take that away, and to use the census as a way to do that for 10 years. It shows us how powerful we are already. And the moment is such that, you know what, now is the time for us to exercise that power and to not only make sure that we're counted, but just like what you're doing with CASA, using all the different mechanisms to push back and to say that, the administration's attempts to erase our community, they're not going to work. We're gonna fight, and we're gonna fight back. So thank you so much, Josie, for joining us. Thank you to Anel, thank you to Rabia, and thank you to Ingrid, who is running everything backstage. Fill out your census if you haven't already. And if you know people who haven't filled out their census, remind them and tell them that it's not too late. They have until September 30th. All right. Thank you all for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.